Hey, Jen Delaney here, and I'm a counselor in Boulder and Denver, as well as doing coaching online. And last week, or the most recent video, I talked about why we fight. And today I'd like to talk about why our inner child is so scared. So, therapy and coaching isn't about blaming parents or blaming caregivers. It's more about really being a detective and being curious about how we got created. And the more we learn in the realm of psychology, the more it creates a value for doing this kind of work. So, we can inherit, they're beginning to have theories around inheriting ancestral trauma and anxiety. So we can come into the world, we might be choosing the best parents to help us through that. So, but sometimes kids do have abuse by virtue of unawareness. So if we have caregivers who are, making these mistakes just out of their unawareness, then that can create for us a part of us that gets kind of frozen. So your inner child doesn't necessarily move on, even though you become an adult. So it's important to be doing work to figure out, how do we support allowing that child that maybe shut down in the moment and froze and didn't feel what he or she needed to feel? How do we allow that out of the body? That's why I really find brain spotting is so effective because it's a somatic technique. So there was a guy named Lev Vygotsky, and he talked about kids' self-talk and how, when they play, a lot of times they talk out loud. I think it's around 3 or 4 that they start to internalize that self-talk. And if kids are either born with a critical inner voice or they start having a lot of people criticizing them, some parents are real perfectionists, and then the child kind of internalizes a more angry, a more abusive voice, and that gets carried on into adulthood until people, start to become aware of taking care of their inner child. And one of the things I want to say is that people are more likely to take care of a child than they are their own selves. So when you think about that, you actually have this child that's still alive in you and is still working through issues, you're going to be more likely to defend that child rather than perpetuate the abuse by having an inner judgmental, critical voice. You're going to start hearing that voice and questioning it rather than being fused with it, because that's what happens initially, is that we're fused with this kind of voice that's perpetuating some of the perfectionism that got laid on us. So we want to get out from under that so we can be living fully free and, following our bliss and allowing the creative brain instead of that primal brain that's keeping us shut down. We want to allow that creative brain to really be flourishing. So this is why the work is so important. Also, um, I think that it's good to know that it's possible to change anything that's going on in your life by doing this work that supports the inner child. And so I'm going to talk a little more another time about, what the defenses are and what they look like, but I just want you to begin to understand how it got created. So that's my video for today, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm going to be talking about what is love and why are we afraid of it. So take good care. Have a wonderful day.